Astros are headed to the ALCS for the 7th straight year. The Rangers fans say we want Houston. Well, y'all best be ready, because here they come.
What's up, H-Town? Welcome to the Believe in Astros podcast, your home for all things Astros. With your hosts, sports writer Jeff Balke and Astros broadcaster and former third baseman Jeff Blom. Now, here's Balke and Blummer.
What is up, Astros fans? Welcome to episode 94 of the Believe in Astros podcast on the Believe Podcasting Network. I'm Jeff Balke, flying high and solo today in a somewhat abbreviated post-ALDS victory podcast. I could not come on here and crow about yet another ALCS appearance for our hometown Astros. We'll have a much longer pod next week, but for now, let's dig into this. I mean, let's just say right off the bat, Astros head to their 7th straight ALCS. Just incredible. I saw a stat yesterday that said that 7 years ago, the Astros were 20th on the list, the all-time list of teams, franchises that had made the championship series. After the last 7 years, they're like 6th. So just the golden age of Astros continues. Let's recap a little bit Game 4. I wrote about this for a story that came out this morning in the Houston Press. First of all, the only nail biter of any of the ALCS games, the Rangers swept the Orioles and just ruined them, and the Astros every game had 6-4 was close, I guess, even though it was really just one game of 4 runs in an inning. But this was the only real nail biter we had in this series and in any of the AL division series. Let's start with Jose Urquidy. He only pitched 63 innings all season. It was a little bit of a controversial choice, picking him over JP France to pitch in Game 4. But Urquidy had pitched really, really well against Arizona. I'm not sure if you guys remember that, but his last appearance was against Arizona in that pivotal final series of the year. He went 6 innings of shutout baseball against the Diamondbacks. So Dusty Baker went with Urquidy, and it paid off. Look, he went 5 2/3 innings. He gave up just 2 runs and 3 hits while striking out 6. It was just an absolutely spectacular performance by Urquidy. Just really just a needed boost for them. And because they set him down in order, and because they used their typical pitching machine that they've been using with their 3 relievers following up their starter, they're set up. They have 3 days off before the ALCS. They're set up to get their rotation right and to get everybody some rest. Everything is lining up for them, thanks to an incredible performance from Urquidy. Also, hey, kudos to the old timers, right? Jose Abreu with his 3rd homer of the ALDS yesterday, a 2-run shot. Michael Brantley with a solo shot. Uncle Mike coming through. I think I saw the stat that Jose Abreu is the oldest player at 36 to ever have 3 home runs in a series in the postseason. So, I mean, getting some big bats from their 2 senior members, super important, and obviously a very, very big deal. Let's talk a little bit about how great the bullpen continues to be. I mean, Adam Wexler tweeted out last night that out of the 22 outs, 7 1/3 innings pitched over 4 games of the ALDS that they got from Neris, Abreu, and Presley, they're 7, 8, and 9 guys. They got 17 strikeouts out of those 22 outs. Last night, it was 8 of the final 10 outs were strikeouts. I mean, they are just crushing teams when they get to. And look, that's not even to count the fact that they still have Hunter Brown. They still have Phil Maton. They still have Rafael Montero, who's really turned his season around. They still have Ryan Stanek when they need him. I mean, their bullpen is lights out. And we're going to talk about how that's going to help them compared to the team they're about to face here in a minute. So one of the other thing I want to mention is just, first of all, the Astros won. The Twins were a pretty classy organization. I have nothing to say bad about them. I've always liked Carlos Correa. Sorry to see him lose, but if he's going to lose to anybody, let's let it be the Astros. Their manager, Rocco Bodelli, I don't know. I'm going to sound like an idiot. Anyway, very cool guy who obviously wouldn't congratulate the Astros afterwards. Honestly, I'm sorry that the Twins were not a great team all year. They won the worst division in baseball by 9 games, but it was the right path for the Astros, and obviously now they get to move on. Before we move on to the ALCS, I will mention a couple of things. First of all, Greg Rajon, who writes for the Chronicle, tweeted out last night that of the Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, and NHL teams to make the semifinal round of the playoffs in 7 straight series during the modern era, there's only 4 of them. The Lakers, who went from 82 to 89 and won 4 titles. The Braves, who did this from 91 to 93 and 95 to 99. There were no playoffs in 1994 because of the strike. They won 1 title out of that. The New England Patriots, 2011 to 2018, 3 titles. The Astros, 2017 to 2023, and 2 titles so far. That's pretty rarefied air when you're talking about sports. I mean, it's pretty incredible. It truly is the golden era of baseball. A couple more things about last night. First, little props to Steve Sparks and Julie Morales for their braving the locker room. Look, Sparky, his locker room antics are legend already. If you saw the picture of him, he's standing there in Stars and Stripes bathing suit with flip-flops. Julie Morales is trying to interview Chas McCormick, and I think the guys in the locker room had more fun pouring champagne on, or I should say Prosecco. That was La Marca Prosecco. My friends who are in the wine business would be remiss if I started calling it champagne when, let's be honest, it was Prosecco. What's the difference, you say? Champagne must come from the Champagne region of France. Everything else is sparkling wine. If it's from Italy, it's Prosecco. Now you've gotten a little bit of lesson on wines today, and I know nothing about them. Anyway, why am I talking about wine on this podcast when I should be talking about the Astros? Anyway, I think they were having more fun dumping Prosecco on Julie Roberts than on anybody else, quite frankly. Chaz was great with the whole I can't see anyone, which was pretty good. Justin Verlander's F-bomb laden speech was spectacular, especially because it got on TV, which was even better. I love it when that happens. And the great line from that speech was, I wasn't even here, when he talked about how half the season he wasn't even playing for the Astros. Just tremendous from Justin Verlander. All impromptu and super fun. So now we head to the ALCS, an all Texas American League Championship Series. Listen, the Astros have never been in this situation before, neither of the Rangers. This is going to be fun. Dallas and Houston, if you're listening to this and you're not from Houston or from Dallas or from Texas for that matter, you need to understand the rivalry between Dallas and Houston is serious. It's the 2 largest cities in the state. They basically don't like one another. And the reason that happens is because there is the perception that, well, Dallas is a little bit, well, let's just say they invented, let's just look at a couple things. Dallas's invention was the breast implant. Houston's was the artificial heart. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, there is that difference, right? Dallas is considered, a lot of people think Dallas is a little douchey. I don't think it's necessarily true, but I will say this. There's going to be a lot of Astros fans in the building in Arlington or South Oklahoma, as Blummer likes to put it. It's going to be a fun series, you guys. It's going to be really fun. I'll talk about the game in a second, but somebody made a great joke last night because, they talk about the silver boot, who wins the silver boot. The Astros obviously won the series against the Rangers during the year. But somebody suggested, they said, what should be the prize for winning this? And somebody said that the statue outside of Bucky's in Madisonville, which I think is freaking genius. I think really if Bucky's was smart, they would uproot that statue and give it to the winner. I mean, truly, that would be like one of the great, just a crazy beaver statue from outside of a Bucky's in Madisonville of all places. So anyway, let's move on and talk a little bit about this series. So I feel like this series is mostly going to be about our starters versus their hitters and their bullpen versus our hitters. And let me explain. So the Rangers, their struggles have all been with pitching, right? And primarily their bullpen. They just don't have a very good bullpen. They haven't had a very good bullpen. Now, when you look at the games, particularly when you look at this Orioles series, they haven't needed a good bullpen. They're scoring 10 runs, right? They have a tremendously talented offense. Corey Seager is ripping the cover off the ball right now. So from an offensive standpoint, they're going to be able to put up runs. But the key is going to be, can the Astros starting pitching hold them down enough to get to the bullpen, and frankly, to get to both bullpens? Look, the Astros, one of the things that they've done so well for so long is on offense is, number one, they don't strike out, right? They are not a team that strikes out a lot. Occasionally they'll have a bad game like that, but they were in the top 5 in strikeouts in baseball. They just do not strike out a lot. They tend, when they're going well, to have long at bats. They like to run up the pitch count on guys, because their goal, mostly with the Astros, their strategy has been, hey, let's put a lot of pitches on these starters and let's get into their bullpen, right? And it's paid off for them. If they can do that against the Rangers, they're going to have a lot of success, because the Rangers don't really have a great bullpen. And they're going to see some, and I mean, look, if Aroldis Chapman shows up in the 9th inning, God bless him, against the Astros, there are going to be some real struggles, I think, from them. Now, conversely, the Astros starters are going to have to hold down their hitters, which is it's a big task to ask, quite frankly. And it means that they're going to have to be patient. The main key here is they just can't give up big innings. The Rangers are a big inning team. The Astros can be a big inning team, but and I think the Astros are just a more well-rounded team, a little better defensively. I think the main thing with the Rangers is they're an offensive juggernaut. They don't pitch very well. They're not good in their bullpen. They're decent at defense, but not spectacular. The Astros are just a more well-balanced overall team, but they are susceptible to having stretches of not being able to hit and or giving up runs to other teams. So we're going to have to see the Astros lock down against those hitters. Now, that might mean in certain instances that you don't want guys facing them a third time through the lineup. It might be, hey, if we can't hold our starter pitch counts down, like if we're getting into the point where, you're in the 4th inning and you're about to go through the lineup a third time, we might need to go early to the bullpen. You might need a longer reliever. You might need somebody like Hunter Brown, right? You might need somebody like Phil Maton to get you to those 7, 8, 9 guys. So we'll have to see how they do it. But the Astros I think they're going to be cautious. They came in with a great game plan against the Twins. I think they'll come in with a great game plan against the Rangers. And we'll see. And I'm not too worried about if they win both games at home. They're going to go on the road and be good. They love playing at the Rangers ballpark. They love it. They love playing there. So I think I'm, if I'm making a prediction right now, I'm going to take the Astros in 6. But I think it's going to be a wild series. I think it's going to be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of sparks flying. It's going to be pretty fascinating. I will mention the fact that The fans in Dallas were caught holding up signs that say, "We want Houston." The Twins did that before their series. Remember, the Yankees did that last year. Listen, Dallas, be careful what you wish for. Just, that's all I'm saying. Be careful what you wish for. This is not a team you want to mess around with. The Astros don't play. And so it's going to be fun. We'll see what happens. First game is on Sunday. Both teams should be rested and ready to go. And it's going to be a fun one. By the way, for those of you who are traveling to Dallas, I'm going to put in a plug here. I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. My cousin, Matt Balke, is one of the finest young chefs in Dallas. Truly. I'm not saying this because he's my cousin, although he is, and I love him to death. But he is truly an incredible chef. And he and his girlfriend, Corey, have a restaurant in Dallas called Encina, Encina. If you are there, go. It is absolutely spectacular food. It's like a new American style. It's just everything on the menu. Spectacular. My buddy and I were there for the Rangers series earlier this year. We went to Encina and ate until we were in a food coma. So plug for him again. Matt Balke, my cousin, I love him. He and his girlfriend Corey are spectacular. It's just really, really, really good. Also, if you're there and you feel like something different, try Mat Hai Ba. It's a tiny, tiny little Thai restaurant. Also spectacular. We went to both of those when we were there. But I'm a nerd about eating food. And so Encina. That's the one to hit, though. Oh, by the way, if you're watching on video, you like my Foo Fighters hat? Saw them the other night. I reviewed that show for the Houston Press. That was excellent. 713 Music Hall is my new jam. I love that place. Okay, quick note. How nuts are the rest of the playoffs? The Astros, if the Phillies win tonight, the Astros will be the last non-wild card team standing. The Dodgers got swept by the Diamondbacks. The Braves are getting ready to bail out to the Phillies, team of destiny again. The Rangers whooped the Orioles. I mean, it's a wild playoffs, and it's fantastic. Mike Stanton, who was on here last week, he had a great line. He said he doesn't like the Dodgers in the playoffs because he doesn't like how Dave Roberts handles his pitching staff, and guess what? He didn't handle them well again. So kudos to the Diamondbacks, by the way, who both A, lost to the Astros at a time when they needed them to lose, and B, went in and just crushed the Dodgers. I mean, excellent. And if the Braves lose after the season they had, if they lose to the Phillies, whoo, I can understand the Orioles. Young team, first real time in. But I mean, if the Braves and Dodgers are both out and the Orioles are out, the Astros will have the best record. They'll be the best team standing, really. Fascinating how the playoffs go. You just never freaking know. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to cut it off here. Just wanted to say we'll be back next week. Blummer and I will be back next week with the Fresh Pod talking ALCS. I'm sure we'll be hot in the middle of it. So get ready. To quote the Roots, you boys be ready. Because here I come. Because the ALCS is happening. It's an all-Texas ALCS, and woo-hoo-hoo, it's going to be a barn burner. So strap in, and let's make this happen. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, of course, on YouTube. Sorry by the way, my apologies for letting the YouTube lapse a little bit there. I got really busy, and it's hard to do video than it is to do audio. So I will make a point of making sure that all of these pods get posted on YouTube going forward. You can give us a follow on X, formerly Twitter, and also on Instagram at Believe in Astros. You can find me at Jeff Balke. Blummer's at Blummer27. We're all over the social media spectrum. Thanks so much for giving us 5 stars and leaving reviews on Apple. If you haven't done that, please do that. Please send us your comments and questions. We love hearing from everybody all over the place, positive and negative. We'll take it all. You guys are obviously fantastic. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Keep it up. ALCS bound, baby. One more year. 7th year in a row. Let's get it. You guys have a great weekend. And as always, and most importantly now, go Astros.